Hello everyone. As I speak now, today I will prepare from this official GMAT guide 2022. Today, the part that I will be doing will be critical reasoning. Now, critical reasoning is one of the very important part of the verbal section that's coming in GMAT, and it's always better to start with the official guide because that gives you the very base of your preparation. So, without much further ado, let's start. Uh, let's start answering the questions. So I will directly jump to the critical section reason. Now this is actually the official GMAT book. Just let me show you. This is the official GMAT book, and there are it is actually segregated into several parts. Let me just show you the contents. Um, yeah, so this is the content. First, there is some GMAT exam formats they have given, then how to prepare, maths review, problem solving, data sufficiency, verbal review, reading comprehension, critical reasoning, sentence correction, IR, and finally AWA. And then further, they have given some GMAT question guide. So I will prepare all of this gradually, but today I am going to do this critical reasoning section. So I will directly jump to the critical reasoning page. Okay, so this is the critical reasoning segment of the whole book, and today I will try to complete as much the questions I can, and I will also set the timer. Actually, I will also set the timer in the sense that I will count how much time I am taking for each question, and that will help me in monitoring my weakness and strength. So there are in this chapter there are several text given. So I don't think we need to read that much because we can directly jump to the questions. You can definitely read all this. They will definitely help you to understand how critical reasoning is asked, what is asked, and how to answer. There is some test taking strategies, but I will directly jump to the questions. And see, this is not a dot no, not not a channel that I will teach you. So actually, I am giving the exams myself. So I can do the wrong. I can do the mistakes, and you definitely you will get to know that. I will just try my best to score as much as possible. That is the aim of everyone. So just let's start the practice questions. So from 652 to 706. So there are roughly 54 questions in the easier section, and after that there is a medium level questions and the hard level. So let's see how much I can finish today. Okay. So this is my scribble pad. It's ready. I don't think we will require much for this. Okay. So let's start. Okay. Arts advocate. Few university requires that students who are specializing in science and technology take many art courses. Okay. However, real progress in science and technology requires an element of creativity, correct, which the arts foster. Okay. Thus, to help science and technology students study in their career, the university should increase the number of art courses required for them. Okay. So, what does it say? The arts advocate, he says that few universities require that students who are specializing in science and technology take many courses. Okay, so few universities they tell that the science student must take art courses. However, the real progress in science requires an element of creativity which the art fosters. Okay, that's to help the science students. That's it. Okay, so which of the following, if true, most strengthen the above question? University require more art courses for science technology in the past. Okay, not necessarily. Participation in art courses. In participation in art courses. Yes. Sorry for the disturbance. Uh, just hold on a minute. I'm just stopping it for some time because I am having some issues. Okay, sorry for that one. I had some issues with my mobile phone, so I had to attend it. Mm, yeah. So which one of the following? Let me start. Which one of the following requires? More students who are interested in art would specialize in science and technology if the number of art courses required for those who are increased. Some of the most prominent scientists began their career as artists. Okay. Discussion of science and technology students. Discussion. So see, number E, it shouldn't be the answer because of science and technology topic in art courses increases creative thinking among the students in those. So we are not interested about the art student. Okay. Okay. The some of the most prominent scientists began their career as artists. Okay. So this is conducive, but not maybe not a correct answer. Most students who are interested in art would specialize in science and technology if the no, this is not my aim. Uh, Participating in art course increase education in account. Yeah, so this is a really a day. I didn't know why I took so much time. Okay, let's move to the second question. Ramirez, the film industry. Ramirez, okay. The film industry claims that pirated images which are equally cheaper than DVD have become available well before a film's official DVD release date. Okay, adversely affects its bottom line. But the industry should note that the spread of piracy indicates consumer wants lower prices and faster deliveries. Okay, lowering prices of DVDs and increasing them sooner would mitigate piracy's negative effect on film industry profits. The film industry claims that pirated DVDs which are usually cheaper and become available bottom line. Okay, but industry should note that the spread of piracy indicates consumer want lower prices and faster deliveries. Correct. Lowering price of DVDs and releasing sooner would mitigate piracy negative effect on film industry. Correct. The argument ever lies on which of the following assumption? Okay, realizing legitimate DVDs is not causing a reduction in the revenue and no, this is not. Some people who would otherwise purchase pirated DVDs would be willing to purchase them if they were less interested earlier than they are now. Yeah, this can be. The film industry will in the future be able to produce DVD more cheaply than is currently in the scale. Okay, no, it is out of context. Some current sellers of pirate DVDs would likely to discontinue their business if legitimate DVDs release faster. Some current sellers of pirate would likely, but our question is not about the sellers, right? Our question is about the people who are buying the pirated DVDs. Current purchasers of pirate DVDs are aware that those DVDs are not authorized by film industry. Yeah, so I will go with some people who would be willing to purchase DVD. Yeah, this is my choice. Okay. 654. Harunia province has a relatively dry climate and is attracting fast growing population. Okay. Harnia province has a dry climate and is attracting a fast-growing population that has put increasing demands in the water supply. Correct. The two companies that supply to the region have struggled to keep up. The demand still remain profitable. Okay. Yet now they are asking Harunian authority to write residential water use regulation that could reduce the revenues and restrict their future flexibility in supplying water profitably. Which one of the following would, if true, most logically help explain why the water supply companies are asking the authority to regulate residential water use? Okay, let's read it once again. I didn't get it properly. 100% is attracting fast growing population that has put increasing demand on its water supply. Yeah, the two companies that supply water to the region have struggled to keep up with the demand and still remain profitable. Yet now they are asking Hieronian authority to write residential water use that could reduce their revenues. Okay, so they are axing their own foot. Let me see why. The companies are planning large water transport and irrigation systems that require the approval of neighboring. This is out of context. The companies believe regulation is inevitable and that having it in place now will allow better planning and thus feasibility. This can be, but still, few, if any, Haronian government officials have investment in the companies or serve on their board directors. Out of context. The companies believe that the population is not likely to continue to grow. Okay, long-term climate projections suggest that greater rainfall will eventually increase the amount of water available. Okay, E. Okay. So the companies are planning large water. So A can be the answer because the company, they are having their own planning, right? So this can be, but still this can be out of context also. The companies, number B, the companies believe regulation is inevitable and that having it place now will allow better planning. Few have invested. Companies believe that population is not likely to grow. No. Because the greater rainfall will eventually increase the. So if E is totally wrong, if the water is increasing, why will they regulate? Okay, so this is also absurd. This is wrong. This is out of context. So between A and B, the companies believe regulation is inevitable and that having it now will allow better. Okay, so this is also we don't know. So I will go with B. Okay. Now let's move to 650. I am taking too much time. No, I have to be fast. Loss of Gocha mangrove forest has caused coastal erosion. Okay, lost reducing fish population and requiring the Gocha Fishing Corporation to partially fund dredging and new shore facilities. However, as a part of its subsidiary business, the GFC has now invested in a program to replant significant parts of the coast with mangrove trees. Given income from a controlled harvest of wood with continuing replanting, the mangrove regeneration effort makes it more likely that the cooperative will increase in net income. Okay, so which one of the following, if true, would most strengthen the argument that mangrove replanting will increase the Gocha cooperative net income? Okay, A. The cost of dredging and shore facilities was shared with local government. Okay, the GFC will be able to hire local workers to assist the mangrove planting. Okay, the GFC drives 10% of the revenue from salt production facility in an area previously cleared by So, mangrove forests tend to increase the commercial fish population in coastal fishing ground. A controlled harvesting of mangrove root by GFC would have little effect on coastal region. अरे भाई क्या हो रहा है? Loss of Gocha mangrove forest has caused coastal erosion, reducing pollution and requiring partially fund dredging new shore facility. Okay. However, a part of its subsidiary business, the GFC has now invested in a program to replenish significant parts of the coast with mangrove trees. Given income from a controlled harvest of wood, regeneration effort makes it more likely that the cooperative will increase in net income. Okay. The cost of dredging was shared with local government. No, the GFC will be able to hire local workers to assist management. So what? The GFC drives 10% of the revenue from surplus in the area. No, mangrove forests tend to increase the commercial in coastal region. Okay. So it should be D. Mangrove forests tend to, just let me explain you, mangrove forests tend to increase the commercial fish population in coastal fishing areas. So this is an additional source of income we are getting. In addition to what? This controlled harvest of food. So this replanting will definitely help in increasing their income. Okay. I am moving to 656. So this is a split one. So just let me make it little smaller. Okay, so the whole thing comes in one screen. Okay. What am I doing? Yeah, so whole thing comes, yeah. 656. Executives at the Fizzles Beverage Company plan to boost profits in country X on their range of fruit flavored drinks by introducing new flavors based on tropical fruits that are little known here. Okay. The executive reason that since the fruit drinks of other companies have none of this flavor, Fizzles will not have to compete for customer and thus will able to sell the drinks at higher price. So simply they are introducing a new flavor that is not present, and since there will be no competition, they will be on monopoly. Okay, which of the following, if true, present the most serious potential weakness of the plan? Okay, so why will it fail? A, the new fruit drinks would be priced significantly higher than other Fizzle fruit drinks with more conventional flavors. Okay, so it is actually positive. So I will segregate the points as weakness or strength. So this is actually strength. In a telephone survey, at least one of the consumers contacted said that they preferred many of the new flavors of to all of the more famous flavors. Okay, positive. To build widespread demand for the new flavor, Fizzle would have to launch an advertising campaign to familiarize the company. So this is a strategy. It neither weakens nor strengthens. Consumers choosing among fruit flavored drinks of different brands generally buy on the basis of name recognition and price rather than the specific fruit flavor. So this is definitely not helping. Few consumers who are loyal to a specific brand of fruit flavored drinks would willing to switch to another. who are loyal to a specific brand of food would be willing to switch to another brand that costs more. Who are loyal to a specific brand of fruit flavored drinks would willingly switch to another brand that costs more. How is it possible here? Few consumers who are loyal to a specific brand of, no, but this is neither not the weakness. So let me just, yeah, leave it to build CDE. You are eliminating, so A and B, right? In a telephone survey, at least one organization that they preferred many of the new flavors. So this is actually producing positive results. So A should be the answer. Yeah. $657. Economists in 2015, the average per person amount paid for goods and services purchased by consumers in country X was equivalent to 17,570. Okay, in US dollar, just 30% of corresponding figure of a 5856 is for country Y. Yet in 2015, there was already a substantial middle class in country X that had discretionary income for middle class consumers such as new vehicles, computers or major household appliances, while significant portion of the middle class in country Y did not have significant income to purchase such items. Okay, भाई ये तो गोलमाल लग रहा है. Which of the following, if true, most helps explain the discrepancy in the relationship described by the economist? Okay, I have to read it once again. The average per person amount paid for goods and services purchased by consumers in country X was equivalent to this, just 30% of the corresponding figure EY. So per person amount paid for goods are less in country X than country Y. How much less? 30%. Yet in 2015 there was already a substantial middle class in country X that had discretionary income for middle class consumers such as new vehicles, okay, computers, while significant portion of the middle class did not have sufficient income to purchase such items. So they are saying that the average per person amount paid for goods and services were 30% less, sorry, or 30% of Y. In country X it was 30% of Y, yet the substantial middle class in country X had discretionary income for middle class consumer goods. Okay, significant portion of middle class in country Y did not have sufficient income to purchase that. So discrepancy, why the discrepancy? Why someone is more but the effect is less, someone is less but the effect is more? A, there are many consumer goods such as household appliances that are produced in country X to be sold in the country Y market. Okay, the volume of trade between X and Y is increasing rapidly in both directions. Nah, this is not. So just let me mark this cross. No, this can't be. The economy of country Y is recovering from a downturn that affected both country Y and country X. No. Country X residents pay much less than country Y counterparts for housing, transport and childcare. Okay, this can be. In country Y as well as in country X, there are few assembly line jobs in country that pay middle class wage. So this is not helping the discrepancy. These three are out. Which one of the following, if true, most reflect discrepancy? So why the discrepancy? There are many consumer goods such as household appliances that are produced in country X, so they will earn more to be sold in country Y. Okay, and D, country X residents pay much less than they can for housing. So this can be because they are saying that they have to pay less for housing and transportation. So whatever they are earning, they are saving something for for these things. What it said that had discretionary income for middle class. That had discretionary income for middle class. I am going with D. (658) Neuroscientists. Memory evolved to help animals react appropriately to situations they encounter by drawing on the past experience, okay, or similar situation. But this does not require that animals perfectly recall every detail of all their experiences. Instead, to function well, memories should generalize from past experience that are similar to current one. Instead to function well, okay. The reassociation statement, if true, most strongly support which of the following conclusions? A. At least some animals prefer recall their every detail of at least some past experiences. Okay, this can be perfectly recalling every detail of all their past experiences could help at least some animals react more appropriately than they otherwise would to new situations they encounter. Perfectly recalling every. Oh, this is not. Generalizing from past experience require clear memories of most, if not all, the details of those experiences. Okay, no, this is not the answer. Recalling every detail of all past experiences could be incompatible with any ability to generalize from those experiences. Recalling every detail. Animals can often react more appropriately than they otherwise would do to situations they encounter if they draw on generalization from past experiences of similar situations. If true, most strongly support. So what does it say? Memory evolved to help animals react appropriate to situations they encounter by drawing on past experience. But this does not require the animal perfectly every detail. Instead, function well. Okay, so they recall something just to react to the current situation. Support. So every detail is not required, na. So they have said that some details. So this is not perfectly recalling every detail of past could help at least some. So my agenda is not to get the every detail. Generalizing from past experience requires clear memories of most of, if not all, the details. No, this is not. Recalling every detail of all past experiences would be incompatible with any ability to generalize from those experiences. So no, I am going with the. It says animal can often react more appropriately than any others than they otherwise would to situation they encounter if they draw on generalization functions. Yeah, this was quite straightforward. 659. In country X has election, the Reform Party beat its main opponent, the Conservative Party. Although pollster employing in person interviews shortly before the vote had projected Conservative Party victory. Okay. Afterwards, the pollster determined that unlike Conservative Party supporters, Reform Party supporters were less likely to express their party preference during in-person interviews than they were during telephone interviews. Therefore, using only telephone interviews instead would likely result in more accurate projection for the next election. Okay, so they this reform party were not expressing in full-fledged way when asked in personal interview, but when they were in telephonic interviews, they were little more open to their views. Which one of the following statement, if true, would most support the argument in the passage? The number of voters in country X next election will be significantly larger than the number of voters in last election. So this doesn't help in any way. The Conservative Party will win in the next election. So what? So the argument is therefore using only telephonic interview instead would likely to result more. Therefore, using only telephonic interviews instead would likely result in more accurate projection of the next election. For each person interviewed in telephone polls before the next election, pollster will be able to reasonably determine the likelihood of the voting. This can be. People who expressed no party preference during in-person interviews shortly before country X last election did not outnumber people who expressed preference. No, this is also wrong. In the next election, pollster will be able to conduct more in-person interviews than telephone. No, this is also. So this is my correct answer. Now let's move to next one. 660. Yeah. A company that manufactures plastic products from recyclable plastic is surprisingly unconcerned that economic conditions may worsen. Despite analysts a company that manufactures plastic products from recyclable is surprisingly unconcerned that economic conditions may worsen. Despite analysts believe that consumers would then consider eco-friendly plastic products an expensive luxury. A company that manufactures plastic products from recyclable plastic is surprisingly unconcerned that so they are unconcerned about the analyst believe that consumers would consider eco-friendly plastic products as expensive luxury, but a company reasons that it will be able to lower its prices because in a weakened economy, other eco-friendly plastic manufacturers are likely to fail. Demand among manufacturers for recyclable plastic as raw materials would then plummet. Creating an oversupply of such materials, making them less expensive for manufacturers to produce and thus lowering the company's cost. So what reason is the company giving? The company reasons that it will be able to lower the prices. Why? Because in a weakened economy, the eco-friendly plastic materials are likely to fall, and they are not going to fall. Demand among manufacturers for recyclable plastics of raw material would then plummet, so it will decrease because in a weakened economy, eco-friendly plastic material are likely to fall. Creating an oversupply of such. With the following, it most weakens the company's reasoning. Smaller eco-friendly plastic manufacturers are more likely to fail in a weakened economy than larger eco-friendly manufacturers are. This can be. Some retailers whose sales include various companies' eco-friendly plastic products have struggled in recent years despite the overall good economy. So it's non-conducive, not helping consumers. So I'm crossing this. Consumers would the consumers would likely soon learn of the oversupply of recyclable plastic and cease recycling them, significantly raising manufacturers' raw material cost. Now this is not helping anyway. So if the consumers learn, why will they cease the recycling then? No. Retailers, including retailers that cater to consumers seeking certain types of eco-friendly products, may lose some business if economic conditions worsen. Okay, so if they lose business, what do you want? That the oversupply of material would help the manufacturers to lower the prices, but this is not helping. The plastic used by the company in these products were, after a recent investigation by a regulatory body, declared to be safe for consumers. So this is not weakening at all. So this is the answer. Lab 661. So this is the, sorry, just let me check. 661. I have started from 652. So this is the ninth one. Sorry, this is the 10th one. Okay, I have to lower the percentage of viewing just to enable properly. Yeah, 661. Researchers asked volunteers to imagine they were running a 5-kilometer race against 50 people and then against 500 people, races each of which the top 10% would receive a $1,000 prize. Researchers asked volunteers to imagine they were running a 5-kilometer race against 50 people and then against 500 people. So they have to imagine races in each of which the top 10% would receive a $1,000. Asked about the effort they would apply in their respective cases, the volunteers indicated on average that they would run slower in the race against a greater number of people. Okay. A likely explanation of this result is that those of the volunteers who were most comparatively inclined, those who most tended to compare themselves with others in the social environment, determined, perhaps unconsciously, that extreme effort would not be worthwhile in the 500 competitor race. Which one of the following, if known to be true, most help to justify the explanation? Okay, so what is the explanation? The explanation is that this result, that those of the volunteers who were most comparatively inclined, those who most tended to compare themselves with others in the social experiment. So this is actually an adjective clause. Okay, determined, perhaps that extreme effort would not be worthwhile in the 500. Okay, the volunteers who were most comparatively inclined were also that had the greatest desire to win. No, not helping. The volunteers who were the least comparatively inclined had no greater desire to win. No, this is nothing about the desire. The volunteers who were most comparatively inclined were likely to indicate that they would run the two races at the same speed. This is not what they have asked. Asked about the effort they would apply in the respective, the volunteers indicate that on average they would run slower in the race against a greater number of people. Explanation is what? Explanation of this result is that those of the volunteers who were most comparatively inclined, that those who tended to compare themselves with others in the social environment, determined extreme effort would not be. The volunteers who inclined were likely to indicate that they would run the two races at the same speed. No. The most comparatively inclined volunteers believed that they were significantly less likely to finish in the top 10% in the race against 500 than in the 50. Volunteers were chosen for participating in the study of the basic answer to various questions designed to measure the degree of which the volunteers were complete. I don't know. It's tricky for me. I am not getting ahead of tail of it. Joe, I will skip this one with this. Let's stop. Okay. So let me see what are my options. So this C actually I have given it because I am unable to answer this question, but still I gave it because I have to give something, right? So I can't write here. I can't write here also. So just let me open a notepad. Yeah. So in this notepad I will just I will just mark my answers here so that I can compare it with the answers given. So first one is mine B, then again B, then it is B, all B. I am doubting myself. D, D, A, A, D, E, okay, C, A, and C. Okay, let me see the answers, but before that just let me check how much time I have taken for, how much time I took for each question. 2 hour 49, sorry, 2 minute 49 41 second, 223, then 356, very bad, 248, 445, no, 230. So actually I have to answer these questions in less than 90 seconds because these are easy questions. But see, I am taking this one, I took 5 minutes and still couldn't answer, and these are the easier ones. I am lagging in my preparation. So just put it here. Yeah. Okay, so the answers will be, I think, I must have noted where the answers were. अरे 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 757 okay, so this is hard. 762 814 so these are the answers. So B, oh wow, B, correct. Then D, then D, okay, this one is wrong. D, okay, then ECC, E, sorry, B, D, ECC, okay, so this one is also wrong. And which this one D 656, it will also be D. And this one 9 C, okay. And which one, this one I couldn't answer, D. So see, 70% efficiency, very poor. Okay, see, this first 4 I did it correct, and my timing was 2.41, 2.23, 3.56 and 3.02. okay, this one I did wrong and I took 2.48. okay, sixth one 4 minute, but I made it correct. 7th one 3 minute, correct. 8th one 2.31. this one wrong and I took too much time. So this is what I need to eliminate. If I am taking some time but I am choosing the correct option, so it is worth the investment. Maybe I am taking too much time, but still worth. But this one wrong, yet I took 3 minute and 48 second, more than 49 second. So this is a very bad investment. And this one the chori do. So just look, let me now see the explanations. So the explanation that has been given here, the first one, the art advocate one. Okay, so this was pretty easy. I don't think we require to see this. Okay, but still I will say this. The argument is, the art advocate argues that increase the number of arts courses required for students specializing in science and technology, with the goal of helping these students and succeed in their careers. For few universities require students in this field to take arts course. So the reasoning is, what piece of information, if true and added to the argument, would most strengthen it? One of that arts advocate premises is that progress in science and technology requires creativity. Another premise is that the course in the arts foster creativity. Okay. The conclusion is that universities would, for the sake of promoting career success, require students specializing in science and technology to take more courses in art. Suppose that participation in art courses enriches students. Participation in the science and technology courses, that would be a further reason for universities to require that the student take more arts courses. Okay, yeah. B, this one was the film industry for pirated DVDs. Yeah, so this one was pretty easy as I can remember. Sure. Number 3, that is 654. I did it correct. Haruna province, yeah, the climate one. B, companies believe in regulation is inevitable, that having it in place now will allow better planning than future plan. Yeah, so my confusion was between A and B, and I said that time that the companies that are planning for large water transportation and irrigation system, so it is actually out of context. What they are planning should not be my idea of concern, place of concern. The concern is that they believe that this regulation is inevitable. Why inevitable? Because there will be a scarcity of water, so this is inevitable, and therefore they are placing now. Okay, now 655, 2 3 4 5. Yeah, this one I have also corrected. Mangrove forests tend to increase commercial. Yeah, so I told the reason. Now let me see the reason that I have told was correct. What additional information, if true, most strengthen the argument support for the conclusion that the mangrove regeneration effort will increase. If the regeneration effort help the GFC's fishing operation, this could be an increase in GFC's income. Yeah, so that's what I said. So the next one I did wrong. So I have to see this explanation. Executives at the Fizzel's beverage company plan to boost profits in country X on their range of fruit flavors. Okay, yeah, this was pretty easy, but I did it wrong. Shame on me. By introducing new flavors based on tropical fruits. Okay, let me just recapitulate it quickly. So they were introducing a new flavor, and the new flavor was different from any other the flavors that are available in the market, and they said that the new flavor will not have any competition because the others are not planning to introduce the same, uh, and therefore they will be able to sell more drinks at higher price. Okay, which of the following, if true, present the most serious weakness of the plan? The fruit drinks would be pricing higher than the other fruit drinks. So I did it, na. So actually, I pretty much just wait. Yeah, this should be the proper way. So I pretty much did it wrong here only, right? So it is already given. So how did I overlook this line? So it is already given. So this is not the weakness, correct? In the telephone survey, at least one of the consumers contacted said they preferred many of the new flavors of all the more families. So this is also, this is actually not weakening. Yeah, to build widespread demand for the new flavors which will have to launch. So this is a strategy. This is not helping here. Consumers choosing fruit flavored drinks of different brands gradually buy on the basis of the name recognition price rather than the specific fruit flavor. Yeah. So it's clear as the day, right? I made the mistake because actually I overlooked this sentence and I thought this is an additional information here. Okay, so D is the correct answer. It's quite correct. Consumers choosing among fruit flavored drinks of different brands generally buy on the basis of name recognition and price rather than specific fruit flavor. So they have said price. So here the price is increasing. So this is definitely a weakness. Okay. Next one. 7. Okay, this is the country X and country Y one. D, na, country X doesn't pay much less in their country compared for housing. Yeah, so I told that time, right? So my confusion was with A, that is the consumer good of such an airplane are produced in India. So let me see what they have given the explanation. That many consumer goods produced in country X are intended to be sold in country Y does not help explain why many people in country Y are not able to afford such goods. Okay. That is quite sensible, yeah. Number 7, that is 658. This was quite easy, yeah. Yeah, I think it doesn't require any explanation. Number 9, so that is 658. Sorry, I think I made the mistake in counting the numbers. So started from 652, 652, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then E. I think I made a mistake. 656 would be just wait a minute. This is 652. 53, 54, 55, 56, 657, 658, 659, 660, 661. Okay, so number 6 is D, 657 is D. Huh. Yes. Sorry, 657 is D. 658 is E, which I made correct. Animals can often react more appropriately than they otherwise would to situations they encounter if they draw generalization from past expression of similar situation. Yeah, this was quite easy. Okay, now 659, that is 8, my C. People who express no party preference during the in-person shortly before the last. Is it? Sorry, C. Okay. For each person interested in telephone polls before the next election, pollster will be able to reasonably determine the likelihood of that person voting. Okay, so this was easy. I am not going in details. 660, that is 9. So I chose A, the answer is C. I chose smaller eco-friendly plastic manufacturers are more likely to fail in a weakened economy than larger eco-friendly manufacturers are. A company that manufactures plastic products from recyclable plastic is surprisingly unconcerned that the economic condition may worsen despite analysts' belief that the consumer would then consider eco-friendly plastic products an expensive luxury. The correct answer is C, which says consumers would likely soon learn the oversupply of plastics and cease recycling them, significantly raising manufacturers' raw material cost. Okay, where did it go wrong? A company that manufactures plastic products from recyclable plastic is they are unconcerned that economic condition may worsen. They are unconcerned that economic condition may worsen. Despite analysts' belief that consumers would then consider eco-friendly plastic products an expensive luxury because it costs more. But a company reasons that it will be able to lower its prices because in a weakened economy, the other eco-friendly plastic manufacturers are likely to fail. Demand among manufacturers for recyclable plastic as raw materials would then plummet, creating an oversupply of such materials. Making them less expensive for the manufacturers to to purchase and thus lowering the company's cost. Let me see what they have said here. The company that manufactures products from recyclable plastics believes that if the economic conditions worsen, it will be able to lower its prices. Why? Because it believes its cost will decline because other eco-friendly plastic manufacturers will fail, thereby reducing the demand for recyclable plastic as raw materials. So other manufacturing companies will shut down. Therefore, there will be a abundance of this raw material. Therefore, they will lower the price, and hence they can lower the prices of the final product. The reasoning that they have given, what would most likely weaken the reasoning? Suppose the company cost did not decline and the company consequently could not reduce its prices. It believes its cost will decline because other eco-friendly plastic manufacturers will fail, thereby you see. Okay, what would most weaken the reasoning? Suppose the company's cost did not decline and the company consequently could not reduce its price. Even if demand for recyclable plastics as raw materials weaken in an economic downturn, the company's cost may nonetheless not decline if for some reason the supply of recyclable plastics also declines. If so, then the company may well not be able to lower its prices and stay profitable. Okay, so A says the option A is smaller eco-friendly plastic manufacturers are more likely to fail. So my reasoning was that since other manufacturing units will not stop, therefore the demand will lessen slightly but not more. Therefore it was my reasoning, but we are not told whether the company in question is a smaller eco-friendly plastic manufacturer or a larger one. Given that the fact that smaller such companies are more likely to fail than larger ones may strengthen the argument rather than weaken it, assuming that the company in question is a larger such company. Okay, how is option C correct? Suppose consumers learn that oversupply of recyclable plastics and stop recycling them as a result, then oversupply may therefore not last long and indeed a shortage may rise. This would not lead not to lower plastic prices cost as the company argues, but to higher raw material cost. But I still don't comply with this. Suppose consumers learn of the oversupply of recyclable plastic and stop recycling them. Consumers would likely soon learn of the oversupply of recycled plastic and cease recycling them, significantly raising manufacturers' raw material cost. Okay, let me argue for a smaller eco-friendly plastic manufacturers are more likely to fail. Okay, so they have said that other companies will fail, and that was said here also. Instead, they have specified that only the smaller ones will fail. So, what it shows that if the smaller ones fail and the larger one persists, the demand that they said would be less because there will be surplus. But here it indicates that it will not be surplus. The last one, 661, is D. The most comparatively inclined volunteers believe that they were significantly less likely to finish in the top 10%. The most comparatively inclined volunteers believed that they were significantly less likely to finish in the top 10% in the race against 500 than in the race against 50. Okay. The situation is the volunteers are asked to how much effort they would expend when running a 5 kilometer race against 50 people and how much they would expend it such as a race against 500 people when the price for each race is $1,000 for finishing in the top 10%. The volunteers indicated on average that they would run more slowly in the race against 500 people than in the race against 50 people. This result is likely because comparatively inclined volunteers believe that the extreme effort would not have been worthwhile in the race against 500 people. Extreme effort कोई काम का आने का नहीं है. So what would most help to justify this explanation proposed above? If comparatively inclined volunteers thought it was at least as likely they would finish in the top 10% in the race against 500 as in the race against 50, the proposed explanation would fail. If comparatively inclined volunteers thought it was least thought it was at least as likely that they would finish in the top 10, thus it would help justify the explanation. If we knew that the comparatively inclined volunteers believed they were less likely to win, I am not getting it once again also with the explanation. Oh, I am stopping today because I am feeling very sleepy. Thank you all for watching it. I don't know how much interesting I am able to make, but I am trying my best. Okay, Control Shift